is Duncan, you munchkins. I'm your host, Michael. What?
You're changing it up?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm your host, Amanda.
And this is Beauty in the Spectrum.
What is today's episode about?
Well, I want to start off with a question. I got a question for you. See what you think.
Okay, sure.
Is being obsessed and addicted to nostalgia a sign of mental illness?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think it could be.
I disagree with you.
I actually looked up earlier because I was wondering. This is something I've been wondering for a while. So I looked up if it could be a mental illness, and it says it actually used to be recognized as one, but then they took it off the list.
Because everyone likes nostalgia.
You gotta
appreciate with the classics.
You gotta look into it, though. If you have such a longing for the past, why? Gotta be a form of something.
Well, you were always obsessed with, like, your old... I remember, like, when with TV shows stuff, you're always, like, watching the old ones. Like, I do the same thing.
I have extreme nostalgia.
The Powerpuff Girls, I know you love...
Extreme. Which is why I think it probably could be a mental illness.
I know that some people say that rewatching TV shows and things like that is a sign of mental illness because it's like you're familiar with it. It's safety. You know what happens in the show. You know what goes on. You like watching it because you understand. You're not shocked by anything. But with you, you always like the Powerpuff Girls, Kim Possible. You always like going back to those shows. It's like your wheelhouse. Courage. I mean,
love Courage.
Yeah.
But
who doesn't?
I think it could be an issue when it gets to a point where when you're younger, like if you think about a time in your life when you were younger, I'll just pick a random year, like in 2005. I always looked at the teenagers of that time and just couldn't wait to be a teenager. And then you become that age as a teenager and you just can't wait to be 21. And then you become 21,
and all you want to do is pull
and now you want to go back to being 5 years old.
You know.
So why is it that everybody loves the future, like looks forward to the future when they're younger, but then you get to a certain age where it's like, damn, I don't want to grow up anymore. I'd rather reverse it.
I don't want that cynic in me to come out, but I feel it's because once you learn that the world is kind of shit, and your dreams and ambitions because when you're younger you have these big dreams and ambitions, and everyone does. But then when you're older, reality hits hard, and it hits like a truck, and sometimes you don't realize that dream of being an astronaut or a scientist of some sort, like you kind of dies. And I think that's when people realize they want to go back to when they didn't have those responsibilities, when they could just go out, play with their friends,
simpler times,
like you know crash their bikes and fall on the sidewalk and have fun with it. Those were the good days. Those were the old days.
It's definitely a weird thing, and I think that's why I have so many things relating to being younger. Like I have a Bratz doll collection, which I just recently, within the past 2 years, got into again.
Yeah.
It's like, why though?
We've always had a collection phase. We went through the rock phase, but I mean, to be fair, I love the collecting of rocks. Because my brain goes click clack when I see them. The shiny rocks, smooth. I just looking at the rocks. My brain's like click clack.
Regardless of collections, though, do you feel even the music I listen to?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're on your CDS playlist. I've talked about this before. Your Matchbox 20.
But I'm very set in my nostalgic.
You won't change your music taste either. You refuse to like branch out to newer music that sounds that sounds familiar to this music. You just like we won't even accept it.
Maybe a select few songs, but
yeah, because even when I show you new music, you're like, oh, this could be good, but you refuse to.
This could be good, but it was released this year,
and
so it can't be good.
And you refuse to listen to it. Yeah,
it's weird, and it's got to be a form of something.
I think probably OCD.
You think so?
Obsessive compulsive disorder, right?
Well, you're obsessing over the past.
Yes.
The longing of the past.
It's almost more like
if I had an opportunity today, like if someone came up to me and said, do you want to go back to being a young child? Or do you want to keep growing older? What would you do?
There's a caveat there. Do I become a young kid with the experience I have now and that knowledge, or do I go back to being a kid with the same naivety or being as naive as I was back then?
You'd probably just go back to how you were.
That's a tough ask, then. I might not.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. If you told me, like, hey, given you all your experience now with what you've been through, would you go back in time and do a do-over? And if you're
do-over's different.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you're saying go back in time and relive it, probably not.
Even if you could just relive, like, one day?
I don't think I would.
You wouldn't go back?
I don't think so.
Just to experience the world when
I've already experienced it.
When it wasn't like how it is now.
I already experienced it, though. And it was I've done
nostalgia is the longing for the past.
I don't have that like you do.
Which is why it could be a
which is why
problem.
Yeah, which is definitely a difference. I don't long for the past. Do I look back on it? Yeah. Do I rewatch TV shows? Absolutely.
You could scroll through my TikTok. All it is old shows, old like trinkets and stuff.
That's the one bright side of social media, that it does let you go back into the past a little bit more.
This morning I opened it up and it was just like, remember Halloween when you were in elementary school?
Yeah.
So much more fun. Well, kids don't even experience Halloween anymore.
No, Halloween died a few years ago, but we won't talk about that.
That sucks for them.
It does. A couple of things have died over the years, but just playing outside has recently just nosedived. You don't see kids outside like you used to.
They don't have the childhood that we did.
No, it's different.
Like when they're older, I couldn't see them being nostalgic over what they have now.
No, but we will be nostalgic over what they might have it in different ways. They'll have it in certain video games and things like that, I feel like.
I think so weird.
Yeah, it's weird, but this generation is really more focused on the internet. And the way, and however it evolves, it's going to. They'll go back and they'll look at it that way.
Mm-hmm. Like, we had the internet.
But
don't get me wrong. We had the internet, but I didn't grow up reliant on the internet.
But also, I was looking back on it, and I used to watch on YouTube and things like that. It's way different than what it is now.
Old YouTube.
Like, old YouTube is what I'm familiar with, what I know. You know, I know...
Old YouTube was fun.
Like, Smosh, back when they were... You know, that was fun. PewDiePie, way back in the day. You know, those type of things have just changed, and it's really kind of turned into a little bit more of a monopoly, where it's really only 4 or 5 really big channels, and everyone else is just kind of there.
Yeah. I think people also used to be more creative.
Yeah. And I think that AI is definitely...
It's sad.
...taking over in a way that stipends and really hinders creativity.
I don't even want to talk about AI.
Yeah, it's a whole other story.
I don't even want to talk about robots taking over the world.
That's what I'm saying. So
how many movies have there been about robots taking over the world for people to realize maybe we shouldn't have robots?
We're at the point now, though, which is really scary for me. After we have 15 episodes, I can go online, pay for a system, and I can have AIs replace us. Without doing a video, we just do our voices, and people may not be able to tell the difference.
Why is that?
Because that's how much easier it is now to make content. Because if you don't know it's an AI,
so the creativity
it's dying.
It's literally gone.
If you go on YouTube, you have like 30 different president play video games channels, where it's the presidents all talking to each other and playing, and it's funny and it's fun to watch. But the more I think about it,
show me those. But I don't even think they're funny.
I think they are. But the more you watch them, the more you're like, this is just someone writing a script, putting voices over it, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. If you Google it a few times, you could be able to do it. So that scares me. That, you can copy a person basically.
I can't even think about a future like that.
Yeah, I know.
Which is probably why I want to go back to the past.
Because it was simpler. It wasn't as complicated.
It was simpler. Like, we still survived. Do you need AIs to survive? No.
AIs make everything worse.
They're inventing things that you just don't even need anymore.
Sometimes
just it's going too far.
Humans like to reinvent the wheel when it already exists. Is how I put it. We have things in place that work. They don't fix what's broken, but they try to redo it and make it. It's like how do I explain this? They're looking for new ways to be creative without actually looking at what makes them creative in the first place. And that's what's, I think, a big factor in why a lot of platforms are struggling. Or in other words, you're seeing a lot of kind of brainwashing content in a sense.
I hate it. It's just weird, too.
It is, but...
So weird. Well, I don't know if you guys can notice, but we do have our pajamas on. Because we're kind of just having a little pajama party. We're going to talk about stuff like this.
I mean, yeah, to be a little bit different of an episode, we're okay with that.
Dreams and stuff.
I've had some weird dreams lately.
Yeah.
Well, last night I had sleep paralysis, and I fell asleep on the couch for a little bit, and I thought that I saw someone pacing like a dark figure around the couch. And that freaked me out. I even yelled out hello. I don't know if you heard me last night, but I literally yelled out hello because I couldn't move.
Do you have that a lot?
No, not a lot, which is very weird that it happened last night.
I get sleep paralysis a lot. On a weekly basis, at least.
But don't you do like that astral projection stuff?
Well, I'll get into that. But
Okay.
I know when I'm having sleep paralysis, so I know to just kind of ignore it. Because like your brain gets working in weird ways. So if you ignore it or if you go with it, it won't scare you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but sleep paralysis is basically like your brain is awake but your body's asleep. So your body and brain are kind of not tuned up.
Yeah.
So you see things and you can't do anything about it because your brain's like...
And you remember it because your brain is awake.
Yeah.
More so. A lot of people don't remember regular dreams.
I can't remember dreams. I can have the freakiest, weirdest dream. I'll wake up and I'll tell you I had a weird dream, but I can only tell you that it was weird. I can't tell you exactly what happened. But I remember.
I hate when you do that because I'm always down to hear an interesting dream.
No.
And then you wake up and you're like, I had a weird dream. I'm like, what was it about? It's like a little story, and you're like, I don't remember. I'm like, oh my god.
I thought it being weird because I wake up with a weird feeling.
Just a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this wasn't right.
I have extremely vivid dreams.
And
I have since I was younger. The first dream that maybe it wasn't the first one. The first dream I recall was a Powerpuff Girl dream.
There we go.
Yeah. And I was flying with them. And then I woke up, and I didn't want to forget the dream, so I drew it on the wall. My parents weren't happy about that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But I was like, I don't want to forget the dream. I think the drawing is probably still there.
Painted over?
No, I don't even know if we painted over it. It's somewhere. Just a little drawing. And then I also had a really creepy dream when I was younger, probably around the same age. I think I was like 3 years old, where this tree that was outside of the house tapped me on the back and was speaking to me as a tree. So I can remember my dreams all the way back from when I was 3 years old.
I can't do that. I don't really remember my dreams. I think that most of the time, where if I have a weird event, it usually occurs through you one way or another. If that makes sense.
What do you mean?
So for me, you've done things that have just freaked me out in the past, and it bothers me a lot, and there's no answer for it, because I'm a skeptic with a lot of things. So superstition, things like that, I look for scientific ways to explain things every time, or a reason. There's balls of light. That's just could be anything. Don't believe it. That's a spirit. That could be literally anything. You can't tell me an orb is a spirit. But
not all of them.
There's a few times where I want to talk about this, and it's a little off topic, but we were at Miami, we were in Orlando, the Orlando airport, and we were eating on the second floor, and you were talking to me, and you go, "This is something happened here." So I started questioning you. I said, "What do you mean?" And you're like, "I think someone died." So I pull up my phone and I start looking at the history of the Orlando airport, and you pointed to an area and you go, "Someone fell from there and died." And I was like, "Can you give me a little more detail?" And you said, "I think it was a suicide. It doesn't feel peaceful." And then I pull up with the history, and bing, bang, bop. Yeah, someone jumped from that floor, like where you're pointing at, and and there's an article on it that the person died there.
Yeah.
And then you were out with your friend one day, and this happened because we told her the story. And the next time you were out with your friend, she called me and she goes, "You did it again." Where you guys were out somewhere, you looked at a building and you said, "Someone died there." And then she pulled up the phone, literally what I did, same type of dialogue, and you completely nailed exactly what had happened. It's either like you looked at it, like I was convinced that you looked up before you even went in there, like you already had this planned out to fake me out. That's literally what I was at. I'm like, dude, so It's a really weird thing how tuned you are with things around you that I can't make.
I don't remember the second one you're talking about. I remember the airport because I thought I was getting just regular anxiety that I didn't want to fly, but I was like sitting there and I was like, "Michael, I can't breathe here. I need to get up and walk somewhere." I was like not okay. I felt as if I was like losing air, like dying.
You did it. I forget where you did it because I remember she called me because she was all panicked. She's like, "She did it again. She did it again." And I'm like, "I'm not surprised, but I don't have an answer for it. But there's got to be a reasonable solution to this."
Whenever I get that like really anxious feeling, or just an overwhelming sense of dread, I kind of have to go in tune with it and pick together the pieces.
I think you've always been more in tune with that type of stuff than I've been.
Yeah.
But I tend to ignore those things. I feel like
everyone can be in tune with it. It's if you choose to ignore it.
That's your third eye, isn't it? To talk about? Or no? I don't know.
It could be. To open your... I'm not trying to be like spiritual. I'm just saying if you're in tune with your surroundings. Like you can... If a person walks by you, but you're not looking directly at them, you still know they walked by you, right?
Yeah.
It's just a feeling.
I guess so. I just don't know.
Like if you're in, saying you're laying in your bedroom, someone's walking in the living room, you can't sense what person it is that's walking.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Based on footsteps.
It's the same thing.
That's the things that...
It's the same feeling.
Really always freaked me out because the one experience that I had, I guess we're talking more about supernatural experiences now, but the one experience that I had was I was home alone in my parents' house and I was in the basement, and when people walk upstairs you can hear everyone's footsteps. I know who is exactly... I can tell you exactly how many people are upstairs at a time. I can tell you if my dad and my mom, I can hear both sets of footsteps. I can pinpoint everything out. Yeah. So I was home alone, and I heard these footsteps, and it sounded like they were heavy. It was a big person, and it sounded like they were dragging something, like a thumping and a dragging, almost like chains on the ground. So me being me, my parents weren't home. I wasn't going to tell anyone this because I don't want to freak out my parents and stuff. So I went to...
Do they know?
No, they don't. So they hear something else. So I went into the gun safe. I took out one of the guns and I went upstairs and I'm like, who's here?
Oh my
Searched
God.
up and down, looked all over, and this is me, 18 years old, just thinking that someone's invading my house and I'm the only person, and I was like, no one's gonna rob me. I'm not letting you guys rob me. I'm looking, we had our dog. I was looking at her. She was giving no signs that there was anyone there because she was just lying down, and so there was nothing there. And I think that was like the few times where I heard something I can't explain. Well, again, I don't know what the rationale to that was, but it wasn't.
There's, like you said, I don't want to scare your parents, but there's something in that house. There's 100% something in that house. My theory is it was a Native American burial ground. But this specific area, especially in your hometown, our hometown area, I think all those houses were built on one. Because there's some creepy things that happen in your basement sometimes.
Do you remember that one time we were driving home and I stopped in the middle of the road where that fog was?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was... I want to explain this in a way to make it make sense. I was driving you home back to your house, and I was up the road, and there was a fog coming in, and I was stopped, and I vividly saw 4 people and like a small kid with a bike crossing the road.
Literally
and I'm stopped, and it didn't click with me until after I went through that there was nobody there.
But I think I even said something. I was like, Michael, watch out. And you were like,
I was stopped.
And then we stopped, and then we got closer, and it was just gone.
It was just gone. It was just missed. But it took the perfect form. So again, I think it was just the lights in of my car and the fog the way it rolled in playing tricks on me. You
saw the same exact thing.
You argue, that's what I'm saying. Me being the skeptic is what I'm pointing out, that I think that my high beam's on.
I drove that road many times at night too, and I think I remember telling you, I'm like, I get scared driving there because I don't know if I'm actually going to hit a person or just take my chances that it's a ghost crossing the road.
It's always been weird over there. I mean...
And I see that a lot. I hate driving at night because of that.
That's just bizarre.
There's always things walking across the street. The lights always go out above me, too. That's annoys me.
That's a sign of paranormal? If you a lot of lights go out,
something like there. That. Energy is trying to get your attention.
I'm not too big at the whole paranormal stuff. You already do that, though.
4 lights on 22 I put out.
That one day,
and I drive past them every day, and I'm like, yep, I put those, still didn't change them. 4 lights in a row that I put out. It's weird.
It's strange things.
To get more into dreams, I had a really vivid dream the other night about aliens. Why are you rolling your eyes?
Aliens.
Yeah.
So we were dreaming.
So we were in a spaceship, and we were leaving Earth, and we were just chilling out in our spaceship, going past. We were like, oh, we're stars now. We're just like the stars. It's like, it's really cute.
You and your aliens?
No, it was me and you.
What?
We were leaving Earth.
With what? With
in our little spaceship.
Just you and me.
Just you and me. Yes. In our little spaceship. And we got to this planet, and it was really pretty. It was like purple, like a purple Earth. Like watercolor purple pink Earth. And then we go down into the atmosphere, you know, same kind of thing when you're going into an atmosphere. There was like fire behind us, everything. And then we land. And the ground was almost like this color, like a mossy color, and very smushy and like clicky.
The fact that your dreams are that vivid.
They are.
About, like,
and then there was animals or creatures or something clicking, like, oh God. I don't even know.
I wouldn't like that.
And there were these huge trees that were like also sticky moss-like, and we were running through them. And then we got to this family of aliens, and they were purple, just like the planet, same color as the planet, but they looked like people. They had hair, like the one lady one had dark hair, and then like she had 2 little kids with her, I think. And they looked us dead in the eyes, and they were like, aliens. They looked at us, and I was like, no,
you're the alien.
We're not here to harm you. And then they just started running around chaotically.
And then you woke up.
And then I woke up.
What a weird dream. You were the most vivid dreams.
And last night, this is just like one of those, like, I was like, I didn't take Excedrin, I didn't take anything, so I don't know why I had this like fever dream. But it was almost like a cartoon dream. Like I wasn't even in it. It was like I was watching like a cartoon, like could have been like a movie. And there was this little girl, and she had like a little Grim Reaper pet. And she was like, this is my little Grim. I was like, okay.
That would be a great TV show.
It almost was like Billy and Mandy.
I was about to say, it's like Billy and Mandy, but instead of that, it'd be like My Pet Grim and I.
Yeah.
And you could have it.
I was like, I haven't watched that show in years. But
oh man, it'd be so funny. Everyone's walking their dog, like, and then it just goes on just causing absolute chaos.
It was cute. It was not scary looking.
No, it's like a stupid little skull face.
It was a cute little thing. And it had the little hoodie on and everything.
Was it like a dog skeleton? Or was it
was short. It was like a short thing. But it was on 2 legs.
Yeah, like an obese little Grim Reaper thing.
Yeah, it was.
That's hilarious.
And she was like, yeah, this is my pet Grim.
Well,
that's cute.
You could. There's a couple times where I'm like, I get an idea. I'm like, you could easily make a show out of it.
Yeah.
And that'd be one that you'd easily.
Want to get onto the astral projection? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if I should explain how I did it. But
what do you mean? Drugs?
Maybe, but I don't want to go into that.
That's not organic, then.
No, it's not organic.
What were you on?
Sure, I don't know if I'll say it on the podcast, but
we're going to be authentic, right?
It's DMT. I did DMT.
You did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that's about as close as I'm going to get to an astral projection for me.
But what happened in it when you took it?
Okay. So we were laying on the floor. It's me and my friend. And we did the DMT, and I was like, okay, this isn't
laying on the floor.
And I was like, this is not working. So I went and I'm like, I'm leaving because that was the day I was actually leaving from Massachusetts the night before.
Uh-huh.
So I get up to go leave, and I open the door, and it's the whole entire universe sprawled out through that door. It was the craziest thing I ever saw in my life. What can you look for? What?
No reason.
Do you have a problem with this?
No reason.
Do you have a problem with my astral projection?
I have a problem with it.
What? You don't think it's real?
Because
that's not astral projection.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I can also relate to an experience like that, and it just wasn't. You wouldn't actual projection. It just wasn't that.
You would call it more like a trip than an astral projection.
Yeah,
that's fair. But that was the closest. I mean, I have like out of body experiences, but it's not like where I'm visually watching myself.
In order to astral project, you need to go into a lucid dream state. Do you know what lucid dreams are?
Yeah, where you're in complete control.
Control your dreams.
Yeah.
Okay. So once you go into that phase, you flick the little switch on that you know you're dreaming, because you can control the dream, so you know you're dreaming. So when you can control the dream, you can go into the phase of astral projection. But you know what you also have to do to get there is you have to ride out your sleep paralysis.
Which I can't do. I force myself awake every time.
So when you can flick the switch on to know you're dreaming, you wake up your brain basically. So then you're laying there, and if you ride out your sleep paralysis, you start feeling like a little vibrating in your ears almost, a really like high-pitched squeal. It's basically like the body separating from your soul. Separating.
So they say. As if souls are real.
Well, something is out there.
That's disagreeable.
Because I've astral projected many times.
Get out of your soul, there's your brain just going absolute bonk.
So how come when I separate, I can turn my back around and see myself sleeping?
See, that's just your brain going bonk.
I can see myself sleeping.
Yeah. Your brain just going absolute bananas.
And then you can go wherever you want. You are attached by a silver cord.
See, this is where you and me don't agree on this.
It's almost like an umbilical cord.
That's where you and me don't agree on these things.
There's not anything to agree on.
It's we disagree.
It feels 100% real because it is.
I don't think it actually projected because that makes sense. And also...
And that's an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, because...
They do go hand in hand. When you look around and you can see yourself sleeping, that's when you're like, okay, this is out-of-body experience.
I do think that some psychedelics have a very good factor in helping you learn how to do those things, but they're definitely not...
You don't...
But even though they're organic, they're not the way to truly do it, I think. But to be fair, though, there are a lot of studies and things that show all the health benefits of those things as well.
Well, this isn't a drug cast, okay?
I understand.
I'm just talking about... like legit experiences. Like the brain is a crazy thing, and dreams are a whole nother world.
I feel like it's almost like a separate world. You can't access it without.
It's just crazy. Like what is even a dream? Like what goes on?
Yeah, because you can't even access that normally. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You have to be. You only like your intuition.
A lot of people will argue that like some people can apparently just astral project whenever.
That doesn't surprise me that people say that.
If you get into meditation and becoming in that deep meditative state, technically you should be able to astral project and have out-of-body experiences. Yeah, like the snap of your fingers.
Meditation is a great thing. I can't do it though.
I haven't meditated in a while.
I think it's impossible for someone like me to meditate. Because if there's...
You gotta shut everything off. No thoughts, no nothing.
No. If I'm meditating and I hear any little noise or any little thing, I'm hyper-focusing on that thing.
Yeah.
So, if I'm trying to meditate and the bunny hits the side of the cage, I gotta see what's going on. I don't care that I know what he did. I know exactly... I can't, Everyone's like, oh, meditation would help you so much. And I'm just like, I can't.
We were doing it for a while, and that's, like, weird, too. You see some weird things when you meditate.
I remember when I did the hot sauna thing in the bathroom. I tried doing that. I lit the incense, and I sat in the bathroom in the water for, like, an hour. I was trying to, that was nice.
You came out, you told me you saw all these crazy things. I was like, Michael...
You didn't believe me.
Are you serious or what?
I was serious, but again...
You told me you were, like, almost like out-of-body experience is what you kind of were describing.
But I think that's probably the closest I would get naturally, but it would have to be heavily induced. Like I said, it was a steaming hot room where I basically pushed my body to its limits. I think one way
you were in there for a while.
I think that's one way you have to do it, though. They do say it's kind of like almost like stress out your physical body.
Yeah.
Yeah, push your mind to the max. Because there are people who, like, don't sleep. And they say they see crazy things because they're basically living in that dream state because their brain is so sleep deprived that it's going insane.
That is true.
So it's like when you push your body to the full limit of what it's capable of, I think you achieve that next stage.
Yeah.
In a sense, where you're able to...
Well, meditating, kind of like what you said before with the third eye, meditating is more to open your third eye.
Yeah.
Rather than just living your dreams and doing it that way.
Yeah.
'Cause meditating, you are awake. You never really fully go asleep.
Exactly.
So you can relax your body to a certain extent. Like, you can turn that off. But your brain is fully awake when you do it. I've definitely seen some weird things when I've meditated.
Yeah.
Like, and I always try to write down, and then I look up later what it could be. Like, I see a lot of flashing lights, outlines of creatures, like mythical creatures.
Let's go right down then.
Yeah.
I think...
the one time, I forget what kind of creature it was, but it was definitely some kind of, like, Viking mythical creature, I think.
Jormungandr.
Things. A what?
A Jormungandr.
What does it look like?
Giant snake.
I have seen snakes before.
Well,
it's almost like a bird kind of thing, but I don't think it was like a phoenix.
Because in Norse mythology, Jormungandr was the world serpent. He's the one that, like, connects all the realms. Besides the tree. Jormungandr and Thor had a big fight when Ragnarok happened, and Thor literally smacked him back in time. Crazy story. Fenrir eats the moon, and then that starts it. There's a lot more than that, but yeah.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Oh, God. Please don't do this. On honesty, at least once a day, maybe once every other day. I love the Roman Empire. It's one of the coolest things.
Are you saying that?
No.
A trend?
No. The Roman Empire is one of the coolest history. Like, for a guy, for me, for what I think of this, they achieved basically civilization at its peak. So I think for guys, it's insane that this place existed because they did everything. You had coliseums to working aqueducts to infrastructure to everything worked. Everything worked. And then it just failed. I mean, I know there's reasons it failed. You had greedy empire. You had, your emperors were terrible. The whole Senate. But it worked for a while. It was perfect. And weird. Their armies were well-trained machines. Just war units. The Roman Empire is one of the coolest things. History does not do it justice, I think, to where that place was.
That is so weird, though, because I don't think I've thought about it since I learned about it.
No, I mean, there's so many... Ancient history has so many cool things in it. And the Roman Empire and the Greek Empire are two of the most important. That thing, but the Roman Empire is just awesome. I've always... Whenever I do, like, civilization games and everything, I always play as the Roman Empire. And I rebuild Rome every single time from the ground up.
Think about it.
Every single time it's Rome.
That one game you were playing on
Civilization.
Your phone.
So what I'll do is, in Civilization, I'll start literally where the Romans were, and I'll do a full conquest of the whole entire map. I did a Civilization game. It took me over a year to complete it. This is how in-depth this game was. I did a full conquest. This is something. When I play video games, it's a very meticulous thing for me.
Oh, I know.
So I started as Rome, and I expanded, and I did a life-sized logical map of the world. So I literally was conquering the world, starting as the Roman Empire. And it took me over a year to fully conquer every city, every town, raise certain cities, build certain cities, take things over, expand. Yeah.
You're so weird.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. North America, was tough to take.
Oh,
because as you're spreading out, I didn't know if I wanted to go west and conquer or go more east. Because I knew if I went east, borders, it's easy to take borders next to you. It's super, super easy.
Yeah.
But to go in on a naval war attack, set up like some cities there and spread out from there is a lot more challenging. And so what I did was I went through Alaska and went straight down, and I came up almost like a pincer attack, just right out of the Roman Empire, hit the East Coast, and I hit Mexico, and I converged. And after I took them, I came down to South America and just wiped them out. But
this is so interesting, Michael.
What? It's a cool thing. I also I turned to a sorry that I am very passionate about my games.
Yeah, I'll say.
Took over a year. It was insane.
Took over a year to do this.
Yes.
How much energy did that take? Could have been doing something productive.
That was productive.
Could have been doing something productive.
When I got the victory at the end, because I did a total victory thing, so I had to take all the capitals. When I took that last city, you should have seen the army I had surrounding it.
Yawn. So weird.
I don't know. Roman Empire's cool.
Roman Empire is cool.
It is. It's a cool place.
I just wanted to see the little trend that was going on.
Not a trend.
I didn't even know it was like a trend.
It's a lifestyle.
Roman Empire is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay then. I don't get it.
You couldn't.
I don't get it.
I don't think you will. You weren't a history buff though, either.
I watched the History Channel.
You just leave it on to fall asleep to.
It does. See, it does make me fall asleep. You start talking about it, I start yawning.
I do like the I like Nat Geo a lot.
I like all the Cosmos ones.
I'm more a fan of the
big into space.
See, I'm big into the ocean. I think it's a funny thing. I feel like you're either really big into the ocean or you're big into space.
You're one or the other?
Yeah, I think so. Because they're both vast and almost endless. One is endless, one is just almost impossible to explore.
Yeah.
Because we know more about space, correct me if I'm wrong here, than we do about the ocean.
No, you're right, yeah.
But the ocean is only so far and so deep.
Yeah, the ocean's lame.
They're going to have to retract that statement.
Think about space. Like, you got the space-time continuum, you got wormholes.
How many things attack
all these planets you don't even know.
How many things attack you in space?
Aliens. My theory is the dream I had the other day, I actually went to a different planet.
Yeah, I would have known. Couldn't fool me.
An astral projection thing. I actually went to a different planet.
Orca whales have trained themselves to attack boats.
Oh my god! What are you saying?
The ocean is so cool. There's so many cool fish we don't even know exist. The biomes are insane.
We're just talking about orca whales training themselves to attack boats.
They did that. That happened. That's revenge for Shamu.
That's interesting.
That's
for the ocean.
I don't know. I mean, even orcas hate capitalism.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying that.
The ocean is creepy. I don't like the
There's
ocean.
So many cool.
It's creepy.
There's sharks that we've never seen before that have existed for thousands of years. The Greenland shark is a behemoth of a. It's not that big of a shark. It's just a really cool old shark. There's basking sharks. The sunfish, monstrous fish. There's so many cool animals. The manta rays. I mean, I can go on and on. Moray eels are just some of the coolest things.
So you like it for the animals?
I think it's...
Or would you actually want to explore it?
I would love to explore it because there's so many things that the ocean could tell us that could help humanity. And what I mean by that is there's fish that have learned to adapt in the most extreme environments using the microbodies and the microbiomes around them. As in the bacteria that they use, they turn into food. Tube worms. They don't have mouths or eyes or anything like that. They feed on the.
They don't need it. It's dark.
They feed on the bacteria that grows inside of their body. That's an incredible. Yes, that's an incredible feat. They have learned to survive not by literally just existing.
Are those clear ones?
The big long ones. I don't know. They're red and white.
What about the clear ones that are at the bottom?
Those I probably think I'm not sure.
Or the ones that have the little light on them.
The anglerfish. That's completely different. They use the light, though, to attract the bioluminescent light, to attract little other things to them, so then they eat them.
I think I watched a video not long ago about the bottom of the ocean, and there was clear shrimp.
Yeah, ghost shrimp, or other types of shrimp, too.
Are they only at the bottom?
It depends. I think it depends on where certain organisms. The deeper you go, the weirder it gets.
It is weird, though, because they've only been to the deepest point.
Yeah.
And you can only explore in like a mile radius.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much.
So anything outside that mile radius on the bottom of the ocean floor.
I think it's cool because the ocean is literally the purest form of. I know we're really kind of going on here, but like the purest form of. I don't want to say the circle of life, but it is. Mm-hmm. I'll give you the example of the whale. A whale is born. It grows, it gets big, it does its whale stuff, whatever whale stuff is, and and then it dies. But when it dies, whales don't die usually from something killing them, even though that happens. They die from old age when they become too weak to get to the surface, so they actually drown. Very painful death for a whale. But they sink to the bottom of the ocean, and then all the organisms at the bottom of the ocean eat that whale and live and survive in it. And they use the bones to help build, like, live in the carcass.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool thing that every single thing in the ocean gives to another animal one way or another.
Yeah.
It's the purest form of it because it's the most it's one of the more untouched laws of nature or things of nature. With I don't want to go into humans.
It's the circle of life.
Yes, but it's like the most intact version of it, where you can see it could almost perfectly and interrupted. Can't see that in space though.
Well, space is just cool.
I think space freaks me out. That's why I don't.
It is. I mean, obviously, it's freaky. You have no idea what's out there.
But the stars are all dead and stuff. That bothers me. That always
certain stars are.
That always trip me out. I never.
Because light travels.
I never understood that.
Light years. So if a star is 100 light years away, by the time it dies, its light could just be getting to us.
That just bothers me.
So you're seeing a dead star.
And then
it's weird.
Yeah, and then black holes are just the hurricanes of the space.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, stage 5 hurricane.
Considering they could swallow everything. Spaghettification.
Yeah, and then
you're gone.
Everything. It just feels like everything in space is just a ticking time bomb. And that bothers me.
Yeah, I mean,
or if anything goes wrong.
Apparently, there is a black hole not far from us.
Not too far, but I mean, not far is thousands of light years away.
No, I think it's closer than that. Let's look it up.
Comets are cool, shooting stars and all that.
It's just.
I see where people like space. I'm not denying that. I just
love to go to space.
See, I'd rather just put on some scuba gear and bop me in the water
and implode.
No, hold on a minute. I didn't say that. I'm not going in the submarine.
Well, if you want to go to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, I think those people are really, imagine just.
I mean, it's almost like equivalent to getting swallowed by a black hole, I guess, in space.
Depends on how you go out.
Both of them.
Well, if you're getting imploded or getting eaten by like a shark or something.
I'm trying to compare it to the black hole.
Oh, yeah, well, it'd be instant.
It'd be imploded.
Both are instant. You wouldn't even know what happened.
Yeah. Like, by the time a black hole would reach Earth, nobody would even know that the black hole reached Earth.
I think the thing that scares me is the extinction level events that are around us, with, like, space and everything. Mm-hmm. If we had a solar flare that hit Earth, it could literally fry half of Earth just like that, and we'd be dead instantly.
Yeah, we're nothing.
And that's
we're
like, when you really compare everything we do on this planet.
And here's a who.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Space is so vast and so huge. When you put it into a scale, everything we do on this Earth is meaningless and pointless. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that I think I hate, because I always want to make an impact. So I try not to think of space that way.
Do you think the aliens on the other planets are being affected by you right now?
But they also say that, the aliens, if another species came here and actually did an invasion, we could do nothing about it, because of the fact that they can space travel and basically time travel in terms of light years. Their technology is so far advanced past ours. We're basically
forget about
so
it.
I think that's why I've always been bothered. Like, yeah, we already know aliens exist and all those things. We know that. But the more I think about it, the more freaked out I get. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just go find the next cool orca whale that doesn't, no one's found before and call it a day.
Well, apparently aliens are already here.
Yeah, that's, I know they are. We
like
knew,
they've been here for a while.
We knew that.
We might be aliens and not even know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Me either. Kind of makes sense.
And would. We don't really belong, in all honesty. When you look at us,
I feel alien.
But I mean, gorillas are close to us, though. So or chimpanzees, if you want to be more politically correct.
What?
We're like related to chimpanzees, though, so it's kind of tough to say that.
No, I'm saying me and you as individuals could be aliens.
True.
Like mixed in with the herd.
As long as we're not lizard people, I'm happy.
Bonnet could be an alien.
Nah, too chill. Doesn't do anything.
No one is saying that they're not chill.
Nah,
I don't know them.
Nah, no way.
They could be. They could look like bonnets. There could be a planet out there full of bonnets.
That'd be a really sucky planet. That would suck.
Why?
A bunch of losers just laying
Shut
around.
up.
They do nothing.
He does everything.
Just lay there, ears down. Look at him.
He's super friendly. Take him out.
He's like a vampire bunny.
The Bun Killer.
Yeah.
This episode
It's really going on a tangent.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, though.
It's a cozy episode. That's why we're in our pajamas.
We figured we just kind of talk about them.
Cozy talk.
Yeah.
Weird talk.
We figured we talk about things.
Was there anything else we wanted to mention? Probably. I don't even remember.
No, I can't think of anything. We just wanted you guys to tune in, listen to us.
Oh!
Oh.
I thought of something.
Go
Bringing
ahead.
up the nostalgia again. I have a really weird obsession with Old Weather Channel.
Oh, you do? The 80s on 8?
It's the local on the 8s.
Yeah, the 80s on the 8s.
Local on the 8s.
Yeah, from the 1980s.
No, I don't like the 80s one. I was not alive then, Michael.
Okay, well.
I like the one from, we could do the 90s ones, but I wasn't really alive then either. So, I guess you could say from 2000 to 2007 is primetime Weather Channel.
That's a weird thing to be obsessed about.
The smooth jazz.
I can't stand it.
So relaxing.
See, I only have like 2 nostalgic TV shows that I always watch. Not talking like Courage and those ones, but like 2
you
random
like
ones.
Courage too.
I love Courage. My 2 most random ones I always go back to are the 2002 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated show. I think it's one of the best shows of all time.
Yeah.
And the 1997, I think it was, Spawn show. That show is the best.
I think you showed me that before.
You can't stand it. It's the best superhero-esque animated show ever. It's fantastic. It's the best storylines. They've never been able to capture it since that show came out. They've always done Spawn bad, but that show is the best thing that he's ever been featured in.
We have so many different interests.
Well, I'm a big comic nerd, so I don't know what you expect from me.
Big comic nerd. Well, what am I?
Basic.
A weather nerd?
No, you just always...
Don't call me basic. Do a freaking consensus of how many of our viewers randomly watch the Old Weather Channel and fall asleep to it.
If any of you guys are freaks like her, let me know.
And if you haven't tried it, maybe you should, because you'll get the best sleep of your life. You will wake up energized and ready to take on the day after falling asleep to the Old Weather Channel local on the 8s.
I'm not gonna.
That's my secret.
I can't
Don't
stand
count sheep.
I can't stand when we're in bed and you put that on.
Why not?
It just bothers me. That jazz just eats me.
Why does it bother you?
It just does. Not classical music. It's not good music.
Nobody's saying it's classical.
Yeah.
Also, the ambiance of the Weather Channel and their little their clouds, how they show the thunderstorms. It's just like.
You're a fan of Local on the 8th? I'm a fan of my lo-fi.
Well, Local on the 8th kind of has that a little bit.
I think lo-fi kind of comes from that, in a sense.
Yeah, you should really thank the Weather Channel. I was also watching it when I was watching it the other day. When they scroll the ads on the bottom, there's a buffet near us, and it says if you mention the ad, you get a $5.49 price.
I wonder if that still holds.
The ad was from 2002, so I wonder if they'll still take it.
I think we're insane.
And be like, hey, I saw your ad on the Weather Channel from 2002. Can I get the $5 deal on the buffet that's now $30?
Yeah, no, let's get the fuck out.
Simpler times. Simpler times.
It was simpler times back then. Everything was better. Again, that's why we like that. But that's why we're nostalgic, because everything was better back then.
Mm-hmm. For the most part. Better shows. Better music.
Not better music. You can take your Matchbox 20 or Counting Crows, you can get out of here.
Why do you keep shitting on them?
Because
every chance you get. But then I walk into your car the other day and you have Round Here on.
To be fair, I was playing Round Here today. Yeah. But that's not the point.
So like,
nah.
No, you're a hypocrite. You want to come on the podcast and act like you know so much more.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so in with the cool crowd. Michael's in with the cool crowd. He listens to music from nowadays. Oh my God.
No.
You're almost 27 years old, Michael.
You get your Matchbox 20 out of here.
And you went to the concerts with me. Mm-hmm. And you were jumping and dancing to Unwell. Like, really? You're a little hypocrite. Look at your crow's feet show your age.
Honey. I only went to the one concert for Patty Stump.
Oh, Patty Stump is not that old. Fall Out Boy's not that old.
They're old.
It was like 10 years ago they came out.
So a straight face.
It's only 2015, right? 2012?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Tried 20 years. Crazy times.
Like I said.
All music going is 20 years old.
I just don't appreciate that you always have to, act like you're, like I said, you're in with the cool crowd because you listen to Olivia Rodrigo and Ice Spice. That's what he does all the time. Definitely. He loves his Ice Spice.
I can't stand Ice Spice.
Always listen to her. He's like, Amanda, you need to start listening to this. This is the cool stuff. This is what the cool kids listen to.
I had Sublime on today, so I guess I am
This is what the cool kids listen to.
Oh, your CBS playlist.
What were you listening to earlier?
Sublime. I didn't actually have Counting Crows on. I actually had Round Here on.
This hypocrite.
Actually, it wasn't even Round Here. It was Hanging Around.
This hypocrite.
And then I put on, what did I put on? I put on Linkin Park. I
was listening to Linkin Park earlier, too.
Yeah, the good stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Matchbox 20, no.
What is your deal?
It's just Rob Thomas and a bunch of other guys. That's my problem with the band.
That's your problem?
That's my problem with the band. Yeah. You can't name me a single other person in Matchbox 20 besides Rob Thomas.
Why do I have to?
That's my whole point.
I know what they look like.
Because they're overrated.
I think I don't want to be wrong because I don't like being wrong, but I think I know the name of the one other guy.
That's my whole point. That Matchbox 20 is just a stupid name for the band. It's just be Rob Thomas and a bunch of other dudes.
Well, that's not.
It's kind of like John Mayer because everyone loves this guy and John Mayer doesn't call himself this band name. It's just John Mayer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not really into the John Mayer.
Yeah, neither am I. My point is that
this has a couple good songs, but I'm not
Matchbox 20 only has 2 good songs.
Super. What? How do they only have 2 good songs?
Push It On Well.
That's your only 2 good songs you think by them?
When you're gonna toss 3AM at me?
3AM
at me? You'll chuck 3AM at there. I think it's a great song.
I like Bent. Their new album is good too.
Oh, so you do like new music, see?
But they're still the band.
That's what they all say.
The OG band. Yeah, I'm not into the pop scene like you are now.
I'm not into the pop scene either. You listen to my music; it's horrendous. I know how bad my music taste is.
Michael's into the pop scene.
No, I'm not. You know what I'm into.
Yeah, you're into the pop scene. You like Taylor Swift too,
right?
This
podcast has gone absolutely off the rails. It
has.
I know, I don't like Taylor Swift. I'm very vocal about this. I think she's the worst. I cannot stand her.
Why not? Don't get canceled, Michael.
No, I'm not trying to. Because I just don't think that her music's that good or that deep or have any meaning to it. I don't think.
What about her old stuff?
It's better. But I can't stand her new music. Just sounds like, I don't know. It's just fake to me. It just screams generic.
I haven't listened to any of her
and like
music.
Her brand new album I've not listened to at all.
No.
But she released all these songs with her version and everything, and it's like the original.
The older songs, yeah.
But like that, what's the difference? You change like 2 words, and everyone's losing their mind over it. I think my problem isn't with her; it's with her crazed, rabid fan base that will kill you if you don't believe. I don't think she's that great. They would literally try to cancel and slaughter me, and I think that's ridiculous and stupid.
She's got a lot of fans.
I think that the whole idolization of these people has gone insane and completely out of control, and it's not just her; it's other artists as well. And other people as well. I just think that when you have a group of following people, and you can literally abuse your power and basically make them do what you want to attempt to ruin someone's life or to...
What?
You can. No, you can. If she got into a fight with someone, she could sink millions of fans on them. And,
I guess so.
And they won't even think about it. They won't even think twice. And I think that's my problem, is that people are... It's like almost like a mindless drone army, but you can't say that to them because they get offended and they come at you. But that's what it is.
You've never been obsessed with an artist?
No,
or anyone?
Not really. No. I never like someone else where I'm like I just have to blindly follow what they say and not realize what they're saying and things like that.
Well, I think following.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with that, and I think that it's a lot of artists and people like that and celebrities. And I never agree with that because I think that you need to have your own
fun. Every fan.
Not every fan. No, but they're all screaming on the airplane at the end of on TikTok. I saw this and it bothered me so.
What?
Yeah, they like one of the planes got delayed and they were all singing her songs on the airplane. And I was like, if I was on that airplane, I would be so mad.
You would be.
I'd be.
You'd rather be on an airplane where they're singing Ice Spice.
I would be on an airplane where we're gonna hit with 300 miles of turbulence.
That's not fun.
That's the exciting stuff.
No. You got a pimple? You keep picking it.
Yeah.
Don't pick your pimples.
Not good pimples.
It's not good to pick your pimples.
This is such a wild podcast.
It's kind of fun, though.
It is.
Good that we could just talk about whatever, because we really didn't have a topic for this week.
I think
about one.
No, I think that our luck is really about to change. I think next week's gonna be a really good week for us. I have that good feeling.
Someone paid for our meal at Burger King drive-thru the other day.
Moral dilemma: should I pay for the person behind me?
He didn't.
I kind of feel like I'm supposed to. I don't know. I feel like you're the asshole for not doing it, but at the same time, it defeats the purpose of the person in front of me if I pay for the next person.
I said with your luck, the family would have been like a family of six ordering 10 Whoppers.
Someone said the same thing about that, but I still feel like I'm like me not paying it for it.
Good.
But it goes both. It
was nice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna have
is that our sign to eat more fast food? Because we haven't been to Burger King in over a year.
Nope, it's not. We're not doing it.
It sucked though. It's not like it was a good meal.
You bite your tongue.
Those nuggets were lackluster.
I would trade you for 3 Whoppers.
I'm sure you would.
I'm not even joking.
The Whopper did look good.
If someone came up to the offer of you for 3 Whoppers, it would be a really hard decision on my part.
I thought you just said it would be easy. You would trade me.
Well, I have to consider what I'm getting. What I'm giving up you, but for how long? For what? And
it sounds like forever.
I mean, if it's forever, then it would have to be 5 Whoppers.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the going rate.
That's the going rate.
5 Whoppers.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's a hard sell.
You might have a problem there, Michael.
You think it should be more Whoppers?
I would expect it to be more than 5 Whoppers. It's like what? It's like $12.
I'm gonna look at the price of it. I'm looking at the quality of the Whopper. Whoppers are just...
I'm looking at the price of it. It's kind of messed up, honestly. It's kind of messed up. Just gonna sit there and laugh.
Yeah, I would trade you for 5 Whoppers.
So rude.
Please, you give me on one of your bad days. You give me up for a cheeseburger.
I don't even remember last time I ate a cheeseburger.
I do.
So no.
I remember.
When?
We're going to the gym and you're starving, and Chick-fil-A or not Chipotle didn't have the line was like all messed up because they didn't have the mobile ordering set up. So we went to McDonald's because we were desperate, and you got the 2 cheeseburgers. Yeah.
I got a McChicken.
No, that was the first time. I'm talking about after.
I'm telling you, I don't remember the last time I ate a cheeseburger.
Yeah, 2 cheeseburgers.
I really don't. McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in months.
A year. Over a
months. January?
Yeah, I cheated on you at McDonald's the other day because I was so hungry.
It is good.
Too many chickens.
Whenever I drive by it,
it's like $3.
So
you can't beat that $3 price.
I love the smell of McDonald's French fries.
Don't even taste them though.
You don't like them?
Oh,
I love McDonald's French fry.
Oh.
But only a McDonald's French fry.
For working onion rings.
Like when you're craving a French fry, sometimes you're craving a specific French fry, and usually I crave a McDonald's French fry. I love French fries in general. Like I'll always eat a French fry.
See, I'm picky on my French fries.
Yeah, I'm not very picky about my French fries. I like them all.
I wouldn't trade you for 5 Big Macs and Whoppers. I think about it.
Thanks.
Wouldn't be worth it. You're welcome. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I think we're done here.
I'm delirious. I've been up for way too long.
Well, guys,
this is pretty much like us.
Sweet,
so it's pretty organic, you know.
Yeah. We have sweet dreams and
What?
What's my dreams for?
I hope you have sweet dreams.
Yeah, I'll be viewers. Sweet dreams. Because we were talking about dreams, so we relate.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, good.
Sweet dreams.
Peace out, you munchkins.
Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. And watch our other videos if you didn't, because last week there was a very special guest star.
Fun fact, there was
Atlas. Kind of upset that she didn't get as many views as our first video.
Disappointing.
Whatever. Rude. So go watch that and give the Wiggin the Piggin some love, because she deserves it. She deserves all the love in the world.
Thank you, guys.
Beauty and the Spectrum signing off.